Simply that man. 2 feet. Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Action Jackson. And in today's video, man, you already know, man, the Cowboys just beat the Minnesota Vikings 20-16. Hey, man, let's just hop into the video, man. Let's get it. All right, man, look. This was a good game. It was a good game from all three phases of football, really, except for that one mishap from Greg Zuerlein. But normally, I'm just going to go, by position group. I mean, not position group, but each phase of the football first. So we're going to go all for offense, man. So look, offense, we faced with some injuries. Tyron Smith had to leave the game because of an ankle injury, but it didn't look too bad because we was watching him from the sideline and he was standing up. He was just standing up the entire time. So hopefully he's fine. Hopefully he can come back next week against Atlanta. If not, I think the coaching staff just needs to get over what La'el Collins did and just put him at left tackle, honestly, because Terrence Steele did his job today. But right now for the offensive line, if Tyron Smith is not a go next week against Atlanta, you have to put La'el Collins at left tackle. I don't give a damn who's pissed, who's mad. I don't care about the coaching staff's feelings. We need to win ball games. So for us to do that, we need to put La'el Collins at left tackle if need be. Ty Nsekhe did his job today. You know what I'm saying? He was serviceable, but that's not. But there's just because he was serviceable doesn't mean that he can remain the starter. So if I'm Dallas, you go out there and you go put La'el Collins at left tackle until Tyron Smith comes back. I don't think he's nothing too serious because he was able to stand on it and watch the game for most of the half. So I believe he's fine. Receiving group, bro, our receiving group came up in the clutch, man. So I'm gonna starting off with Cedric Wilson. Cedric Wilson did his thing today. He had a nice throw of a completion today. We did a little trick play, little screen play to Cedric Wilson. He went out for a pass, rolled out to the right, threw a dot to CeeDee Lamb. And then after the play, Harrison Smith was trying to put my boy CeeDee Lamb in the chokehold, and I not appreciate that stuff, man. That was real itch made, if you know what I'm talking about, man. So I don't know why he did that, but anyway, man, Cedric Wilson did his thing. He caught a nice 75-yard touchdown, which was the biggest play of the season by the Dallas Cowboys. Did his thing, man. He did his thing. He was really clutch today. Amari Cooper, man. So a lot of people want to throw him away as like he's not a number one now. CeeDee Lamb is. I love all the receivers. Again. But CeeDee Lamb, he's easily, now he's a number 2 receiver, but he's not there number 1 yet. Amari Cooper is doing his thing, boy. And there's so many people wanting to get rid of him, which I never understood why. But we know that he stayed on this team. He caught a nice touchdown. He caught it over Cam Dantzler. Little boy ain't had no chance on that play. So, that was a nice play by CeeDee Lamb. He mossed him. That was a touchdown to put the go-ahead touchdown to make that 20-16. So he did his thing. CeeDee Lamb did his thing. CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper both were winning on their matchups because Minnesota kept sending about 7 defenders, and they were doing that on blitzes and putting them. Well, they put more than 7 in the box, obviously, but Amari Cooper ended off the day with 8 receptions, 122 yards, man, and a touchdown. That was crazy. So Amari Cooper did his thing today, and he was playing on the limp arm, with a hamstring injury on his leg, man. So I'm just so proud of this team, man. Like, the offense did their thing today. It was struggling at first because Minnesota was dedicating about 8 people to the box, so that's why we wouldn't have to, run the ball. And then they forced Cooper Rush to beat us. Now, talk about Cooper Rush now for a second. Cooper Rush did his thing, man. Finished off the night with 325. They with 325, man. So he did his thing. He was serviceable. He had that one horrible interception where he threw it. He was trying to make the play to Blake Jarwin, and then he ended up throwing the ball in like double coverage and ended up being a pick. So he made up for it. He made up for it. ended up striking back, came back with 2 touchdowns, man, and he was clutch. He did what he was supposed to do. You know, he only had 1 bad mistake. Well, no, he had 2, because he had an interception, and then he got rocked by Xavier Woods, and that ended up being a fumble. So, you know, other than you take away those 2 takeaways, well, the one that you can take away from that fumble, you know, Cooper Rush damn near had an amazing game today. So proud of Cooper Rush. He did, and at first, man, I had no confidence in him. I'm not gonna lie. Instead of being here like, "Oh, I told you guys so," I didn't. If you guys were tuned in and watched my preview game, my preview on Saturday, I was saying that if Cooper Rush, I said that if Dak was in, this game's over. You put Cooper Rush, I'm not so confident. So, man, Cooper Rush did his thing. I'm really surprised that he came in and he did his thing. So happy about that. And then the run game, we couldn't get much on the run game, but we did get a lot of when we needed the 3rd and 1s and all the short yardage plays. Zeke did his thing today too. Tony Pollard did his thing, man. So, Zeke had a nice play towards the end. It was the 4th quarter in the coming final seconds. He had a little dump off play caught by, Cooper Rush threw a little check down. Then Ezekiel Elliott ran through like 3. He broke like 4 or 5 tackles on the play and ended up getting this first down on like a 3rd and 11. So Zeke did his thing. Tony Pollard did his thing, man. The offense did his job. I'm proud of that. So, like I said, one quick note before going to defense. If Tyron Smith is not able to go on Sunday, which is fine, just hopefully it's nothing long term, but if it's, he's just going to miss a week, it's fine. I'm just putting Lel Collins at left tackle, man, and let's roll with the punches. So, all right, man. So, with this defense, man, so we did our thing today. Honestly, Minnesota didn't do a whole lot. Yes, they were, a lot of NFL offenses, they're going to move the ball up and down the field anyway, on no matter how good or great the defense might be. You're always going to be able to move the ball, especially with how the NFL is, and they cupcake to the offense. So offenses are always going to be able to move the ball on any defense, especially in the NFL. You saw with the Jets today, their offense ain't great, but damn, they didn't have 500 yards today. So, Adam Thielen had a touchdown early in the game, the first drive, I believe, when they had the ball, first or second drive when they had the ball. He did his thing. Justin Jefferson, he was all right, man, but he was fine. Then he had like a little bit of an injury. Yeah, I believe it was like a hamstring, I want to say again. These players, a lot of these NFL players getting these hamstring issues, but I believe, we did I know what we did. We did a really good job holding those 2 receivers, like I said. And my keys, man, just stop the long plays. Just don't let the long play happen with, it was one long play with Adam Thielen, but other than that, we kept him pretty much quiet the entire night, I mean. We stopped Dalvin Cook. The run game was really non-existent. I don't really have the stats in front of me. I just saw the only stat I had that was right with the Amari Cooper and the Cooper Rush, because it was giving out the game balls aside of the Sunday night game, recap going on. So those are the only 2 stats I saw. And then, we did really great, and sad. I don't know what's going on, but all I know was Trevon Diggs towards the final seconds of the game, he hit his leg, not his leg, my bad. He hit his foot against another player's foot from Minnesota. I think it was KJ Osborne, and it ended up that Trevon Diggs had to go to the sideline, and he was sent on the bench, and he was not. He knew I don't know what's wrong, but he had a towel over his head, and he looked pissed. So I don't know if he was mad because he couldn't continue his streak, or it's bad. Like, I don't know what's going on with Trevon Diggs. But, bro, if it's bad, Dallas is going to have to make if it's going to sideline here for a couple weeks, Dallas is going to have to make a play in the market. Dallas is going to have to make a play in the market and hopefully try to go get, like, Kyler Fuller out of, what's that place, Denver. So we just got to see what's going to go on, man. Hopefully it's not the case, and hopefully that Trevon Diggs is able to come out next week against Atlanta. But I'm not too sure on what the injury is right now. Hopefully he gets fine and won't set him back. But other than that, I love what our secondary did. They played great tonight. Gregory, bro, this D-line was able to get pressure on Kirk Cousins like how I said they needed to do, and they did. Brandon Gregory got his 5th sack tonight, and not only just was the sacks, there was the pressures. There was the everything. He was just causing havoc the entire night. And I was really proud of Randy Gregory for doing that, man. Carlos Watkins was great in the run game. Osa Digizou was great in the run game. So was Terrell Basham. Our D-line did amazing tonight, man. And then, he also plays D-line, also linebacker. Michael Parsons, man, he had 11 tackles tonight. He just balled out, man. He was a guaranteed tackle every single time he had somebody wrapped up or in his grasp. They wasn't going nowhere. He was blowing up plays, causing havoc again. Man, Michael Parsons, man, he really, really, really special, which is nothing really surprising for a lot of people who covered him in Penn State, or if you was a Penn State fan or you just followed the Jocks really heavily, you already knew that Michael Parsons was going to be an impact player. You was just worried about his off-the-field issues. That was it, but not going to talk about that. We're talking about the positive. Michael Parsons did his thing tonight, man. He balled out. Real proud of him. So, Michael Parsons, this is one of his coming out. This was his coming out game for a linebacker. His coming out game was at the end, came against the Chargers week 2. And now week 8, it was against the Minnesota Vikings, man. So, one last thing, I'm going to end it off, man. I know sometimes I don't like ending off the video on a bad note. It's not really a bad note, but it's sort of like a forewarning. So, Greg Zuerlein needs to work on his kicking. I don't know what is going on, but there's no way he should be missing some of these kicks, man. No way. It seems like every single time he's just missing these kicks, and they're making the games closer than what they need to be. You know what I'm saying? You just look at all the games that we played. You think about all the 7 weeks of football that we've played, just because we have a bye week. So look at all the 7 weeks that we had played, and every game came close to some form, rhyme, or reason, except for the Carolina and the Philly game. All the other games were close, just because if Greg Zuerlein just makes some of his kicks here and there, the game doesn't have to be this close. Greg Zuerlein just needs to work on his damn kicking, man. That's the only thing that's my issue. I know, that was my only issue from the night. Also with the refs, those bad calls. But it is what it is, man. So, thank you guys for tuning in, watching this late night YouTube special, man. Hope you guys have a nice night. Stay safe. Bye.